Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
I'm just gonna stop with it. It's been a long time, although I just said it, so there we go. But
in fact, it has been a long time.
Here we go. We're going to talk today about one topic, and Lex and I kind of got on the same page before we pushed the record button. And so I'm very interested to see what Miss Lex is going to say about this topic, because I have my ideas about this topic. But I think we're at this point now. Can you hold this for me? Because I have to take off my jacket. Thank you. I think that we're at this point right now that we need some inspiration. I feel like we need inspiration, and I feel like we need imagination. I feel like something kind of reminds me of that Carole King song. Something inside has died, and I can't hide, and I just can't fake it. I mean, it's like there needs to be...
That's the Ketchup song, isn't it? Anticipation?
No, that's Carole King. Something inside has died, and
right.
It's too late.
It's too late, yeah.
But it's not too late, so I don't feel like it's too late.
Okay.
But I do feel like a lack of imagination can make us too late, and I feel like we're in this period right now where it's pivotal. I feel like there is imagination, but I feel like it's being kind of stifled a little bit. So I feel like the imagination actually sparks inspiration in other people. When other people see other people's imagination, they are inspired by that, because they then see what is possible. And so I feel like there is a lack of seeing what is possible. Like, I feel like there's this rut of, well, we can try this again, but I don't think it's going to work. So we can't approach things like that. We have to approach it with, we might have failed like 50 times, but the 51st time we're going to make it, right? Because we're going to do it differently. So anyway, I don't even know if I'm still on the same topic that I started out with, but because Lex is looking very puzzled right now. But what I will say, and I'll throw it to Lex, is that I would like to be focused on doing what we both love, which creates joy in us. And then I hope in some way inspires other people to find their joy. That is what I mean to say.
Well, okay. We kind of took a couple of curves there with the imagination conversation, which you and I, Chris, have had in the past couple of days ago, and kind of used that word a little bit differently from each other.
Yes.
But I have come to know what you mean by that. So anyway, back to the inspiration.
But tell me what you think about what do you think I mean when I say imagination?
I think that you might mean optimism. I don't know. I use imagination a little bit differently than you do.
So
and I don't want to get into the conversation that we had earlier, because that's a different topic. But
okay.
Anyway, so you wanted to talk about inspiration, I thought, and like what inspires us and how we can be inspiring to other people. And I struggle with this some days. Today I had a hard time finding inspiration, and I found myself actually being not very inspirational / actively uninspirational.
You mean not where's that moment where you're like, well, that might not be my best self.
Yeah. My best self. So yeah.
And we all have those moments.
It wasn't my best self. And I know that we all have those moments. Some of the places where I take inspiration actually is those times when people share those moments with me, even when they're sharing, and sometimes even most importantly when they're sharing, wow, that wasn't my best moment.
Yeah.
Because that reminds me that they're not always perfect and always, and so that's inspiring to me. Not that I want my friends and family to be like not having their best moments, just
continually,
purely to inspire me. I don't mean it that way at all, but I think if you think about it, you know what I mean.
I think I do know what you mean.
So that's
I think what you're trying to say is that there is this place where there's this maybe camaraderie where you are like, okay, that happened to me too, and it's okay because we're all trying.
You know what it is? I got it.
Okay.
I think what inspires me is when people are sharing their authentic self. We hear this phrase, authentic self. Be your authentic self. Just be authentic. And I think sometimes it gets overused just sort of as a catchphrase, a catch term, authentic self. But I think really that's what I mean in this situation. It's like, yeah, you're showing me the good, the bad, and the ugly, and showing me your process. And then that inspires me to share my process, to share myself authentically. And then always just that reminder to I know that I can do better.
So you've brought up a good point. And I think so I like definitions, and we had this conversation years ago when we first met, because I think things mean different things to different people.
Oh, definitely.
So
words are very, very powerful because we do sometimes think of words differently.
Mm-hmm. So when you say authentic self, when I say authentic self, what I'm talking about is that you are the same person that you are at work, that you are at home, that you are at play. And when I say play, not like with the theatrical play, but I mean like playing. I mean, this is all the same you. There's no facade. There's no, well, I have to be this for this person. I have to put on airs for this person. It's just you are you. You don't change because the environment is different. And I think that that's important, because I think, in the corporate business world, we are kind of taught that we need to modulate and we need to flex our style, and we need to be different. And I think that we need to look at that. I don't know that that's exactly right. I think that unless you go deeper and talk about authenticity and really understand, for me, that's what it means for me. It means that at work, I can talk about who I am in my personal life, and that's okay. So, like, I'm not in the closet because I'm in a relationship with a woman, and I'm not afraid to share that. I share the fact that I love music, and that is one of my hobbies, and that's what I do. And that sparks something in somebody else that I'm sharing that with. Yeah, because if you don't do that, and so this is, I think this is my whole point. If you don't do that, if you don't turn your light on, then then it's not providing, obviously, any light for anything. And so we have to, I think, as souls here, we have to, we got a light, we got to turn that on, turn it on and let people see who you are. And acceptance is part of that, but again, I think that goes to the authenticity. So I've been like kind of on a ramble here, but I'll throw it back to you and say you think about it.
Thank you. You said that beautifully. Thank you for that. I think it is in showing ourselves and showing our work. I mean, I always go back to like learning math and arithmetic, and the teachers would always say, show your work. I want to see your process. I want to see your work.
Well, because you could always get a little bit of credit, even if the answer was wrong. You could always, if they saw where you were trying to go,
yeah.
It was the effort that counted. And I think that's a great point.
And
it's important.
It encourages people then too to go, oh yeah,
Stick
sometimes
your head out.
Yeah. So anyway, I get inspiration from people showing not necessarily always their fabulous, loving, extraordinarily compassionate, all of those good things. Of course, those are important too, but it's extra special when they let their other parts show and their introspection about that. So, and sometimes that's the hardest thing to show.
Sometimes not very pretty.
Yeah.
And I think that it doesn't need to be pretty. And I think that's kind of the point of the thing, is that it's messy. And somehow the story that we've been given is that it's all supposed to be perfect. There is no perfection. I mean, to me, I don't think that there's a perfection. I think that there is and at this point in my life, I just want to explore things, and I want to get rid of the boundaries. And you're someone that taught me that. You're like, well, why did we need to limit ourselves? I'll never forget that. It was one of the first things that I remember about you. It's like, well, why is this? We have fun with labels and have fun, or we joke about them, and we say that she's not gay, I am. I'm the T-shirt or something like that. I mean, it's like the Peppermint Patty T-shirt. Have you seen that? Never mind.
No.
Okay. Never mind. But I think the point is that
I don't like labels. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we know that about me.
The imagination is so powerful if we stop letting ourselves be controlled by the stories that we've been told from the time that we've grown up. And sometimes the stories are great. Like my mom told me the story of I could do anything I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget that. And that all of that.
I mean, yeah, there's positive stories and there's negative stories. There's stories that lift us up and expand us, and there's stories that purposefully or inadvertently we're told, we believe, limit us.
Yep.
And make us smaller.
Yep.
So, I mean, stories in and of themselves are neither good nor bad.
No.
But, yeah.
But I think that they do have impact. And I think that, the one thing I would say from this podcast is think about the stories that you've been told and that you've grown up with. And really look at them now. Mm-hmm. And really see what makes sense. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it may be time to get rid of that story. Mm-hmm. It may be time to create your own story.
Write your own script.
You are a creator in this universe, and you can really achieve whatever you want to achieve. It's up to you. The limits are things that you're putting on yourself. It is nothing that anybody is putting on you, because at the end of the day,
she finds herself quite amusing this evening.
I thought that was kind of funny. At the end of the day, I think that, you are you're in charge of yourself. You can't control anybody else, but you can control what's happening with you. And so I would say, as my last parting thoughts, and then Lex will chime in here, is that do things that make you happy. Don't be that person that is, I should have done this, I should have not. Do it. Talk about it, but then do it. Just do it. And, appreciate what you have in the moment, because as my mother always said to me, and I always remember it, is, tomorrow isn't promised to anybody. So don't save it for tomorrow. Do it today. Carpe diem.
Yes, what she said. And I'll tell you what, that is a true story. That is a true story. Tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone. So I think it is definitely harder to be angry with people that are happy.
Okay, everybody.
On that note,
we love you.
Bright blessings.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.